Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the Hot Water Wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do. Renai, hot water for all.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
And welcome to the 5-Star Prep Friday Night Scoreboard. I'm David Queener. Jonathan Cox will be with me momentarily. I ain't going to say it's a rainy night. We've had a little rain. A lot of teams canceled. I really don't know why. It's been other than, I mean, we had a brief share where I live out in Clinton just for a little bit, but it didn't last 5 minutes probably, not very hard at all. Other than that, it's a beautiful night. It's fairly, maybe a little humid, a little cool. From what I've seen from the weather forecast, it's really we're supposed to get some rain tomorrow. So I don't know. Several teams did cancel. I think Oak Ridge and Dobbins-Bennett canceled. I don't think, I know so. Canceled tonight, along with maybe Carnes and Halls. Canceled tonight. I don't know if there's anybody else or not. We've been looking at some scores here to see, and some people are on the board now. They're off, so we don't know. A lot of teams played last night on Thursday night. Probably is this list that I've got in front of me for Thursday night is probably the most that I've seen in a while. But with the shortage of officials, it's come to that. They're asking schools to play on Thursday night because there's a big shortage of officials, and we don't have anybody to blame for that but the fans and the coaches. So don't pay enough to take the abuse they take, and just to be honest with them, I don't blame them. I wouldn't do it neither. So that's the sad result of it. Hope everybody did social distancing tonight, wore a face covering. And it really don't matter to me whether you do or not, okay? What matters to me, I wish you would wear the face covering and do the social distance just so we can continue to have high school football. So if you're a high school football fan and you love high school football and you want it to continue on, you'll do that. If you don't want it to continue, then don't do it. And we'll see what happens. Maybe we get lucky. Maybe your team doesn't get affected, but maybe they lose a game or two because somebody else does. So, all we're asking is everybody just try to work together. It ain't no big thing. To me, it's not a political thing at all. It's just, hey, let's just try to keep high school football going. We've got it going in week 2. So far, so good, but, teams, Kingston, they're out for 2 weeks. Who's next? Who's up? Who's next? So just a good idea to do. You can see I got mine around my neck right now. I wear it when I'm out in the public, and it ain't no big deal. It doesn't bother me either way. So, if I want to watch high school football and keep high school football going, and I'm a fan of it, then that's exactly what I do. I do what they've asked. Now, those rules might change here after the 29th. The governor, as far as I know, he's not issued any new orders yet. That could be coming or forthcoming any day now. So we'll see what the changes are. There's a lot of people looking to see what the changes are. So we'll know a little bit more a little later on with that. But we're in week 2 of high school football game. And like I said, there was a lot of people played last night, and I'll run down the scores that I have. And if I miss one by any chance, call, let me know, and I'll add them to the list here. But Bledsoe County over East Ridge last night, 21-14. Bradley Central 37, Walker Valley 34. Just got a text just right now. Somebody's out for 2 weeks, 11 starters with COVID. Kingston will play again next Friday. So Kingston's apparently got everything under control down there. And thanks for the note there, Ken. Appreciate it. Let me respond here to him right quick. All right, thank you. Thank you, Ken. Bradley Central 37, Walker Valley 34. East Hamilton 31, Soddy Daisy nothing. Wow, that's a big score. Soddy Daisy usually a pretty good football team. Harriman 36, Wartburg Central 22. Jackson County 31, Sullivan North 8, Kings Academy 39, Gatlinburg Pittman 13, Knoxville Grace 15, South Doyle Zip. I think I heard last night that the score last year on that was 63 to 6 or 63 to 3. That's a big turnaround right there for Knoxville Grace there. Marion County 35, Sequatchie County 26, North Jackson, Alabama 52, Whitwell 6. Whitwell must be down a little bit this year. Powell 31, Anderson County 29, Red Bank 31, Ottawa, another team out of that district with another big win, 31-7 over Ottawa. That's a big win. And Silverdale 40, Polk County 14, and South Pitt 49, Grundy County Zip. That's all the Thursday night games. I know tonight Rockwood goes down to Sweetwater. Clinton goes down to CAK. And other than that, I'm trying to see what the scores are saying. The TV's so far away I can't hardly see it. So let's see if I can. I thought I seen Austin East and somebody there, but it flipped on me before I could get it. Alcoa beat Austin East 55-0. Man, Alcoa looked good. They looked really good last week on TV on Saturday, playing up in classifications. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if they can play in 6A and win a state championship there. That's just me, but I really think Harriman, like I said, beat Wartburg last night, Bradley Central over Walker Valley. I mean, there was another upset last night in Upper East Tennessee. Kings Academy beat Gatlinburg Pittman. I don't remember what the score was It's not on here, but that is a game that happened last night. Let's see if I can get this caller here. Caller, go ahead. You're on there. Go ahead, caller. You're on there.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oak Ridge and Dobbins Bennett will play tomorrow night.
Okay. Thank you.
7 o'clock.
All right. Thanks. Get your raincoats out. Might need them. I don't know, man. This weather right now it's sort of weird. So, but anyway, if there's a score that you know of, I know Oliver Springs had to travel tonight to I believe William Blunt. Farragut and West are tomorrow night. I don't think Maryville had a game tonight. Central and Fulton were playing for the Battle of Broadway. I believe Central beat Fulton 21-9. So I don't know about Campbell County, and we're still waiting for some scores. And some of these teams might have canceled, and we just don't know it. And that's just being honest. Because I didn't really know Oak Ridge had canceled till I got in the car earlier this season and heard Jim Harris say it on WYSH doing the coverage of Clinton and CAK. I didn't have any idea that they had. Knox Carter was at Campbell County, so like I said, I don't know who's canceled and who's not tonight, but there's some games on here that's of interest to see how they turn out. But maybe we'll get a call and somebody will let us know about Oliver Springs, what the deal is. Go ahead, caller, you're on there. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, Clarence, this is Bo Brown here in Rockwood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I took my mom up to the game tonight, and you mentioned the mask. But didn't anybody have no mask on up there? I think that's pretty pathetic. They mentioned it. They mentioned it from the press box several times about the TSSAA requiring it to have mask on.
Oh well.
And, another thing, we got up. My mom's 74 years old. We got up and left the game right about halftime because of some kids over next to the stands throwing football over in the stands while we've got two Rockwood officers standing on the steps up there. And, several times that football come over in the stands hitting people. I think it's pathetic that they can't control something better than that, and I won't be back at another game.
Well, I hate that. Did you ask the officers to get them to stop? Hello. Okay. He's not going back to the games no more because he got hit with a football, or was getting thrown. The football was getting thrown at him tonight. So he's not going to go back. So yeah, I might have got them two officers to just get out over there and talk to those young men. They're probably just having fun playing, and probably didn't even realize what they were doing. So, but anyway, hate that he had a bad experience because Rockwood's a great place to go watch a high school football game. So I hate that for him. Let's get another call here. Go ahead, caller, you on the air?
Yes, Oliver Springs got beat 40-6. 40-6.
40-6. All right, thank you.
Meigs County beat Greenback 38-0. Greenback hasn't scored this year.
Wow.
Hasn't scored a point this year.
All right, that's big right there. That's something to talk about later on then. All right, thank you.
All right.
All right. Wait a minute. I thought I heard. Yeah, I believe it did because of COVID. Yeah, hold on a minute. I'll tell you. Yeah, Sunbright's out. Sunbright canceled tonight. Looks like. Anyway, the big story I think there's two big stories right there with what the gentleman told me just now. Is William Blunt beating Oliver Springs. William Blunt last week, if I'm not mistaken, broke a 25-game losing streak. So a bunch of improvement there. Greenback, maybe the recruiting is not happening like it did. So it'll be interesting to see how the year. If I'm not mistaken, maybe Greenback sort of started off a little slow last year too. They might have dropped a couple early on last year, like they have this year so far. That'll be quite interesting because they were a big conversation last year with a couple teams that got them, and it might have been the same two teams they've lost to this year. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'll do some checking on that and try to find out. But you know, that old football bounce is funny, and you just really never know. You know what's going to happen on Friday nights at any football game, any given football game. You know, you can be the best team in the country, and you can go down. So I think we'll see what happens. I know Oliver Springs had a heartbreaker last week with Oneida, and I don't know if they had somebody hurt tonight or not, but you know, maybe we get some checking on that and try to find something out on that too. So we'll see what's going on. Let's get another call here. Quick caller, you on the air?
Okay, got Carter 24, Campbell County 13.
Okay.
Loudon beat Lenore City 44-10.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, buddy.
All right, man. I'm telling you, that guy right there can find the scores, buddy. He knows how to get them. So appreciate that. Carter, new coach. That's interesting too. That's interesting. I think Carter is 4A. I don't think they're 5A. They might be playing in 5A right now. I'm not for sure on that. I'll have to check on that too. I don't keep up with them a lot. I know Campbell County's 5A. That's a future Clinton opponent. So I would have to think that would be a small upset too. So we'll talk a little bit about that too a little bit later on. But you know, so here we go. I mean, like I said, it's second week of high school football. There's a few more weeks to go. Let's just say a prayer that we make it, because this old virus out here, it's mean, and it can be quite dangerous. So we'll see how the whole season goes for the rest of the year. But like I said, there's several games tonight canceled. The main one right here where we're at in the city of Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge canceled tonight against Kingsport Dobbins Bennett. And I watched the coaches show Wednesday night for just a little bit, and I knew the question when David Clary asked the coach, Coach Gaddis, about Kingsport Dobbins Bennett band. It's probably one of the biggest bands in high school, in the high school ranks. I think it's over 400. When they're at Blankenship Field, usually from the 20 to the 20, they have an outstanding band that they bring with them, which most high school teams around here that has bands do have really good bands. We're fortunate to have a bunch of really good bands around here. But just always impressed with the number that Kingsport Dobbins Bennett has, because it's usually in the 400 range. So it's a pretty good high school band. I mean, that's not getting to travel right now. And there's a lot of people goes to the games just to watch the bands. They've got kids in the band, and bands, and they go to watch the band. So there's a lot of those out there. So that'll be a disappointment from some people, for some people anyway. No bands. Bands are not really allowed to travel on away games. So anyway, I tell you what we'll do. We'll jump out and we'll take our first break of the night, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes, and we'll get to rolling here on a Friday night scoreboard, and we'll see who's out there and who wants to call and talk football. We'll take your call, 483-8112. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the hot water wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do. Renai, hot water for all.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
And welcome back to the 5-Star Prep Friday Night Scoreboard. A final CAK 45, Clinton 15. Carter defeated Campbell County 24-14. Excuse me. Let's see. Oak Ridge Kingsport Diamond's been canceled tonight. I guess they thought there was going to be more weather than what they actually, well, they could have probably played and got the game in and it not affected the crowd not one bit. But they made the decision, I'm sure they made it early, to cancel and postpone till tomorrow. Well, I know we are supposed to have some severe weather sometime later on tonight into tomorrow. I hope it's out for their sake so they can have a pretty good crowd there. So if there is another, if for somebody else out here we've not talked about and you know the score for some reason, or if you're just getting home from a school that played tonight and you want to talk about it, give us a call. We'll talk about it. We'll be more than glad to. Quick caller, you on the air.
Hey, Queener.
Hey.
Glad to see you're doing it. I was wondering about the bands. Does the traveling team, do they have to leave their bands at home with this old stuff going on?
Yep. They have to leave them at home.
Okay.
Not allowed to travel with them.
You know who I am, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I know who this is. It's Pepsi Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who it is. I know. Yeah, the cheerleaders can come, but the band has to stay home. The visiting cheerleaders are allowed to come, but the band has to stay home.
One other question. Have you heard that Oak Ridge is going to play that game tomorrow night?
Yes, they are. That's what I've been told. Tomorrow night, I think kickoff at 7 o'clock. I believe that's right, and I just wish them good luck on the weather. I hope the rain's out of here anyway. Maybe it will be.
And there's one on ESPN with Catholic and somebody.
Yeah, Catholic and somebody tomorrow night. I don't know who they play tomorrow, so I don't have any idea.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thanks,
Queen.
man. Appreciate you calling. All right.
All
right. So, let's see. We get another call here. Talk to him. Go ahead, caller. You on the air?
Yes, in William Blount, a 6A school.
I can't hear him.
Is William Blunt a 6A school?
Yes, I think William Blunt is a 6A school.
Okay, and Oliver Springs is a 1A, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, all right, thanks.
All right. The gist of that conversation there should have been Oliver Springs was scheduled to play Kingston tonight. All right, and Kingston had to set this week. Apparently they'll be back in it next week. So Oliver Springs went looking for a game and found one with William Blunt. And they went looking for a game against somebody that lost 25 in a row until last week. So that's the gist of it. It's one, yeah, it is 1A, 6A, or 2A, 6A. I think it's 1A and 6. That is a accurate comment, but that's how that game happened tonight. It's not like Oliver Springs scheduled William Blunt. They were not on Oliver Springs' schedule. Kingston was on Oliver Springs' schedule tonight, but Kingston had to drop because I guess of some COVID concerns, and everything apparently is good now. They'll be back in the saddle next. They'll be back in saddle next Friday night. So that's how that rolled for that Oliver Springs caller that called in. That's how that went down. So, Oliver Springs is just trying to play some ball games, probably just trying to get ready for, the region games. And I don't think they've started their region games yet. I think Oneida's in the classification up for them, so they've not started yet. But anyway, hey, you can give me a call at 483-8112, and be more than glad to talk with you. We'll talk high school football. Like I said, Matt, for B week 2, with all the Thursday night games that was played and the games that have been postponed, there's not very many games tonight. So there's not a lot really that's going. If you don't call in, there's not going to be a lot to talk about. And I am not going to sit here till 12 o'clock and talk myself to death. We will be out of here. We will be out of here quickly if that's the case. So I would suggest that if you've got something to say, you better call and say it. Tonight might be a good night to say it, and we'll be more than glad to talk to you. Appreciate the info there, Richie. Son had a good game last night, even though they lost, but he had a good game last night. Gavin Noe, I think he rushed. I don't know what the final stat was on him the last I heard, and it might not be correct. It's just the TV people give it. Had 150 yards at least, so it's a pretty good game last night for Mr. Noe up AC. So we'll leave that at that. And maybe his dad will text me and tell me if he had more yards, but last I heard it was 150. So it's pretty impressive for the young man. He runs hard. He showed that last night again too. So, but like I said, Clinton goes. If you're a Clinton fan and you're sitting at the house tonight and you're coming in and flipped us on, and you're trying to figure out what the Clinton score was, Clinton does go down tonight 45-15 against CAK. So they did put a few more points on the board this week. That's a good thing. Maybe start to get to play a little bit together. And really, Coach Keith is he is under the gun. I mean, it's just not fair right now for him. I mean, he didn't have any scrimmages. He had no spring. And listen, I know all the high school teams were like that. They didn't have any. Some of them didn't have spring practice or scrimmages. But Coach Keith, being a new coach, he just didn't get the opportunity to have that. And I think it's really set him back some. Not making any excuses for him, because he's probably not making any excuses. Well, I know he's not. So, because he would probably tell you everybody's on the same playing field, and they are. But he's under a little bit more of a disadvantage than most of them are, because just not getting to have nothing else to scrimmages. I think that would have probably helped him more than anything. He could have, so these last two games, they don't mean nothing. They mean absolutely nothing. The first one was bragging rights, maybe, if you want to call it that. Because Anderson County's won like, what, 21 or 22 or something like that. So that's all it is. I don't even know that it's bragging rights anymore. It's not a rivalry anymore. As far as I'm concerned, it's not. Clinton will have to run off 10 or 12 in a row to make it a rivalry again. It's a big gate game for both schools because they're so close, but that's about the extent of it. You know, I don't know if, you know, maybe Clinton looks in the future of not playing that game and, you know, trying to get the program straightened out and get a little bit better. And, you know, because Anderson County, I'm telling you folks, they've been loaded the last 4 or 5 years. And, you know, I don't know that the cupboard's bare up there yet, but it's like I said, it's not a rivalry game no more. It's the fans love it, but I don't know that it's a rivalry game anymore. It's you know, so we'll see what goes on in the near future with that game and how it comes out. Let's see here. 194 all-purpose yards, 2 sacks. It's not bad for you know. I text Richie last Saturday. I texted Mr. Noah and asked him, "Hey, is that your son?" And he said yes. He's watching. I know he is because he's been texting me. He knows what I'm talking about, so he's texting me and telling me his son must have got all of his talents from his mother. So that's all I got to say about that. So anyway, hey, let's jump out and take a break. We'll let Mr. Cox get on here with us. And then we'll be right back here in just a minute.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the hot water wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do. Renai, hot water for all.
Here is Helen Hammond.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices. Race on down!
And welcome back to the 5-Star Prep Friday Night Scoreboard. Hey, before you came in, I said there's not a lot of games tonight.
No.
There was a lot of games played last night. Look, that's a sheet. Well, it's here somewhere.
Yeah.
No, that ain't it. That's all the games just played last night. That's a lot. Usually
lot
you
of
have
games.
a couple, maybe 3 or 4 at the most. But look, man, we got a half a dozen on there or better, or a dozen. So
the one thing I don't understand, and I'll never understand this, if you're South Dole and you played a Friday night or Saturday night football game last week, why would you agree to go play Grace on a Thursday night game when they changed the schedule on Wednesday?
now Richie knows mad at me here now. He said I'm a good friend. He appreciates me talking about telling his son got all of his talents from his mother. What do you think?
He was a dog last night.
He was.
That boy was a dog.
Yep.
He was.
Well, I had 194 yards, all-purpose yards, and what did he tell me? 2 sacks. So
here's the thing. I'll go ahead and say this. I didn't really plan on bringing this up, but since I walked in on that conversation and you're going over this, sort of bringing this topic up. Last year I went to the Anderson County Greenville game. There was a pick 6 thrown right before the half. The Mavs walk off the field. Everyone looked just defeated. Last night when I was up there, Anderson County was down at the half.
yes.
25 was standing in the back of the end zone congratulating the defense on that stop. And their attitude and body language was totally different because of one kid standing that in. I mean, he was going nuts down there. I mean, it was great. And, and he was just, giving the defense high five, encouraging everybody. And when they came out, we talked about it in the end zone. We felt like Anderson County was going to come out and smack pound them out just because how they went in the locker room. I mean, so, I think Gillum probably has to see that team, even though there's a bunch of sophomores sort of developing in front of his eyes, the leadership and everything. But, man, I text Richie last night. I mean, Anderson County played really good, but 25 was a man.
He's been the last 2 weeks.
He was a man.
Just to be honest with you, he's been that way the last couple of weeks. So he's just a sophomore too, isn't he? Isn't that right? I think
he's sophomore, 14 sophomore. What a snag 14 had on that slant for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And Anderson County just physically whipped them up front.
Yeah,
Matt Lowe, go ahead.
But I believe Powell looked to be bigger than AC. They're not bigger on offense. Powell's offensive line wasn't bigger than Anderson County's defensive
offensive line, but defensive line. Me and you'd be 2 of the biggest guys on the defensive line if they didn't have 71 out there, and he didn't play the whole time. So
he's giving you some sign language.
I know he's probably telling me to shut up about something.
He's showing you the phone or something. I think he's trying to figure out.
Mama's trying to FaceTime.
He's trying to get it plugged up or something. So, but anyway, did you go to Fulton tonight?
I did.
Hey, well, before we get to Fulton, let's just talk about something else. Meigs County spanks Greenback tonight. I mean, spanks them.
Greenback's been D lineman. He's got Division I offers, transferred to Alcoa this week.
Oh, okay.
So all these years.
Wonder how they like that. But now, didn't Greenback start off this way last year, losing the first 2 games, or losing?
I know they lost to Loudon.
Yeah, I know that. I think they lost a couple games last year like this. Same scenario last year, maybe. And then another thing tonight that was surprising: a team it hadn't won in 25 games. William Blunt beats Oliver Springs tonight.
Wow.
45 to something. It was big. And then Carter goes to Campbell County, I think, and beats Campbell County.
Did they?
Yeah.
Man, I was hoping the Price brothers could win that football game.
So did they play last week, Campbell County?
Yeah, they won at.
Did they win?
Was it at Cott County?
Did they go to Cott County last week?
Yeah, I think they went.
Yeah, well, they're 1-1. They got beat tonight by Carter. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, Quainer, how you doing?
Doing good.
All right. It's another week.
I can't hear
you. You can't hear me? Hang on a minute. I'll fix that.
He's going to have to turn us on out here or something. Are we plugged up and everything right there?
We're plugged up.
I can't hear you.
You got to short this. Go ahead, caller.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. I can hear you now. Go ahead.
All right. week 2, 1-1, Harriman.
Yeah.
Good. I want to congratulate you on your retirement. Oak Ridge Steve Clinton. Was it Clinton?
Yeah.
That you retired?
Yeah.
All right. Congratulations on
Thank you,
that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I watch you whenever I get a chance. But anyway, I've had a stroke since then.
Oh, I hate to hear that.
Yeah, my mind ain't here now.
I understand.
Gotta think of what I'm saying. But y'all do a good show. I'll watch you whenever I can.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. See you. All right. Long time caller right there. Rudy's been calling.
I hate to hear that.
Yeah, he's been calling ever since I've been on this thing. So,
man, Campbell County was up 13-0 in that game, and Carter scored 24. So that's Meadows' first win as the Carter coach, right? And Scott Meadows the new coach there.
No, Scott Meadows is at Pigeon Forge.
He went back to Pigeon Forge.
Went back to Pigeon Forge.
So he didn't stay at.
They got a new coach at Carter.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
If we had some good prep coverage around here, I could keep up with it.
I heard that. I heard that. But no, he's back at Pigeon Forge. So
okay.
Yeah, he went back. But anyway, Oliver Springs goes to William Blunt tonight and gets.
Man, McCauley just spanked Webb.
You know, Webb's been down the last couple of years.
But they spanked AE last week.
Well, AE got spanked again tonight.
Yeah, but
55 to nothing. The machine. I made this comment before you came in tonight. I believe Alcoa could win the state in 6A. Honestly, do.
We'll find out in 2 weeks.
Who they got in 2 weeks?
Maryville.
It's a good football team.
It'd be a good football game.
It'd be a good football game.
You know, Mike Jones always brought his kids to the Fulton basketball games growing up with Seth Smith's friend. His son's Carson's starting quarterback at Maryville.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, starting quarterback at Maryville.
Well,
William Blunt did beat him 40-6. Loudon beat Lenore City. Fulton, you were going to ask me about that earlier.
Yeah, I know Fulton's work in progress. Not a lot of kids out neither.
I counted 41 tonight.
That's not bad.
39 last week, 41 tonight.
That's not bad.
When you're playing 5A football, you need 50 to 60.
No, you do have to have a bunch of kids. I agree with you. You got to have a bunch of kids. You probably need more than that, just to be honest with you.
I'm a little disappointed, and I'm surprised that Fortner kid doesn't have Caleb Fortner from Central.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he doesn't have a Tennessee offer.
What's he play?
I would say at the next level, he's going to play linebacker.
What's he play in high school, though?
D end. And they might run a 3-4 and call him an outside linebacker.
Yeah, they did a thing on him last night.
Man.
They did a thing on him last night and showed him last night. He looks like a pretty good, looks like he's pretty well built.
He's a big dude.
He is.
And he can run. And, he's just, and his brother, wide receiver, they were the difference in the football game tonight. You couldn't do anything running you couldn't run it toward Caleb. And Fulton had a hard time tackling the other brother. I think his name was Lim. Had a hard time tackling him. And they're impressive. But the Caleb Fortner, he's a big-time defensive player. They're going to Army.
Both of them?
Both of them committed to Army.
I think he said last night he was following in maybe his dad's footsteps.
Maybe. They're football players. They're tough.
I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
That they're following in their father played their father played at Central, and then I think he went on and played. I think that's what they said. I could be wrong on that, I'm telling you, but I think that's what they said last night. So he didn't look like a high school football player last night, just to be honest with you.
Hey, Richie, if you're still watching, call us back. I got a couple of questions about the Anderson County, just the setup up there last night and the game. One thing that I noticed last night, it seemed like there was a lot less people at the Anderson County Powell game than there was for the Anderson County Clinton game.
And I heard, I watched the game a little bit last night, on and off, and then I heard Richie on the PA. Where's the PA guy?
I don't know. And then, but I couldn't hear Richie last. I heard Richie was on the PA, but I couldn't hear him because the speakers, you couldn't hear him on the field. The speakers, I guess, point toward the crowd now.
Yeah.
And you couldn't hear him on the field, so.
They was complaining about the speakers on the TV last night because they're so loud.
Oh, because everything's coming back at them.
Everything's blowing back at them. Yeah, you getting this, it's almost makes it impossible to do.
I wondered. I'd like to hear from him. There was a couple things that I thought of when I was like, man, I wonder what's going on. But the fireworks and the run out and all that, I took the boys up there, so I didn't get to go. But I took the other two. It was a show, as always. That's the first regular season game I've been to, I think, in probably some time.
At AC?
At AC was that PAL game, that AC PAL game. But I heard Matt Lowe. I was saying on the way in. They were interviewing Matt Lowe, and they were talking about the quarterback and the play that he made. And I think Lowe said it best. What a great play, but what a great supporting cast that kid has around him. Those wide receivers are tough.
Yeah, and they're all just sophomores, just like the quarterback's a sophomore, so people's going to have to deal with them for the next 3 years.
I didn't know that 11 wasn't the one that had all the big-time offers. If you watch him play, you think 11's the one that's got the offers.
No, he's not the one.
9's the one.
9's the one that's got all the offers. Is he the kid that's from Fulton, that should be playing at Fulton?
Faust, the one that caught the game-winning touchdown and caught the 4th down.
Is the one that's
is the
supposed to be
kid
at
that
Fulton?
lives, right behind Fulton.
Right behind Fulton?
Yeah.
And goes to Powell?
Yeah. But now, I'll tell you what, 11's, he's a big-time receiver.
Well, they've got that might be their strong point is their receivers, because they didn't really have a running game last night. They didn't break. I bet they didn't rush for 100 yards. I bet they did.
No.
I don't know what the stats were, but I bet they didn't rush for 100.
Anderson County has a linebacker I've never seen before. I can't remember his number, maybe 30. He's a football player, too.
Quick caller, you on there?
Hey, David.
Yeah.
45-14, we lost.
All right, who's we?
Clinton.
Clinton lost? Okay.
Yeah.
Anthony, are you still doing the water?
No, not this year.
What happened? They fire you?
No, this COVID-19.
What?
This COVID-19.
COVID-19?
Yeah, it's probably kept him out from not being able to do the water.
They still have a hydration team.
They probably do it a little bit different. He's not filling the water bottles up, probably. So
they wouldn't give you one of those little garden sprayers to spray in people's mouth?
No.
He said no.
I'm telling you, it's great. You know, the kids come off the field and they got these little 1 gallon, 2 gallon garden sprayers. They're just spraying people in the mouth.
Yeah.
And that's another thing last night I noticed in Anderson County. I didn't think water bottles this year were allowed.
Yeah.
And there was water bottles on the sideline last night that they were wheeling out there to give the kids. They must have them like individually numbered.
Probably got them individually numbered.
That's a lot.
You have your own. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Robbie Black made a comment that that's a lot of money to have to buy every kid a water bottle.
Yeah. So they went.
And Coach Keith at Clinton told me that he was the only one, or a staff had to take care of those water bottles, clean them and everything, because you couldn't put the responsibility on the kids.
I think the way.
So you can't be the coach and the water boy too.
No, the way Robbie was doing it tonight and the way they've done it the last 2 nights, there's a table full of cups. And they got the water and the Gatorade in there, and the kid goes over and picks it up and drinks it. And then during a timeout, they've got the water boys, and they take them out there and hand them to them.
All right, Anthony, thanks.
Hey, Anthony, Anderson County might be looking for help if you want to go up there. They had water bottles.
No way, Jose.
Be a winner,
man. Yeah, you make good, water boy, up AC.
Be a winner.
No, I'm not an AC fan. I'm not going to be an AC fan.
You can travel to Chattanooga. Sleepy might start traveling with you.
No, he won't.
Why not?
He's a Clinton fan.
Did you go to the game with him tonight?
No, I stayed at home and watched it.
Wimp
Well, why
Shipmans, I think he's turning into AC too.
Why didn't you go to with Wimp in?
He didn't want to.
He didn't want to. Well, he's an Anderson County. We think he's become an Anderson County fan, though, what we're being told. All right, see you, bud. Quick caller, you're on there.
All right, boys, let's take care of business.
Who's that? I can't hear him.
Hold on, we can't hear you. I think it's Richie. Hey, Richie.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, we want to offer Anthony books and tuition to come to Anderson County.
Well, he don't need tuition and books. He's already out of school. He just needs to ride up there.
But it's a full scholarship.
I
mean, let's
understand.
focus here.
But he needs a full ride.
He needs a full ride, though. I mean, like, you need to buy him a car.
Yeah, well, we may be able to work something out.
Work something out.
You might have a hard time getting that insured.
Yeah.
Hey, why? I may have to hang up and call back.
Why are you doing a PA?
Well, Ron, a living legend, decided to step down for various reasons, and they needed somebody to fill in on short notice, and me and my buddy Chris Move decided to do it.
Okay.
Hey, I know how that works. I've been over there filling in for 5 years.
Yeah, I've served water. I've held chains. I believe I've done about everything you can do.
Well, that's. Hey, Richie, do you know why? I don't know, and you might know that I'm going to ask you this. Was the crowd down because you didn't sell as many tickets? Like you didn't offer up as many tickets? You didn't offer 2,000? What was the story on the crowd being smaller? Because last night was a much better football game than week 1.
Yeah, I know with, I think it was, I heard Ben say over the mic with like 12 hours to go, there were still like 400 or 500 tickets left that they could sell, but they didn't expect a big rush. And you've got to do it online with Ticket Spicket, so I'm not real sure how that worked out. You know, one, you have to know that you can't just walk up and buy a ticket. That don't happen anymore. Yeah. And then 2, you've got to go online and know where to go with the correct email or web address, so that it's a little more complicated.
So do you all give PAL an allotment of tickets to sell at their school, and then them bring you all a check?
Well, now that's a Ben question.
Okay.
That's a Ben Downs question or a Gary Terry question.
Like I went to the game with Seth Smith tonight.
I think it was 500 tickets, but I'm not sure how many of them sold.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I don't know if when you get within 36 hours, if you've not sold your allotment, some of those tickets come back to you so you can open it up. I really don't know how that works.
Yeah. Well, like tonight, I was with Seth Smith, the principal at Fulton, going to that game, and he took Central a check for 250 tickets, and he sold all 250 of them. And it makes the crowd look awful because you look back behind you, and Fulton had 250 people there.
Yeah.
And, when you got to...
It does. I mean, it really changes the dynamic. And, and my wife's the treasurer for our booster club, and it really changes the dynamic of how things are working right now. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
And then it doesn't look as good, too, just because, the students are down on the field. They're not up there in the middle of the student section. But I wondered. I just thought the Clinton crowd looked bigger from everything that I could tell, and I didn't know if you thought it was just because they tried to sell less tickets or the TV hurt the gate a little bit.
I think that's twofold. I think, both things you're saying are correct. I think they were told, this was a little too crowded, let's dive it down a little bit. And then also, PAL, why would you travel over if you're just a casual fan if you can sit in your living room and watch it on TV?
Yeah, man, it was a great football game.
But that's why Packer and those guys give you a stipend when you allow them to put you on TV,
Yeah, I thought it was a really good football game. I'd say both teams will learn from that one, and that one can help you later on.
I agree. For us, they exploit a little bit of our weakness because they've got such tall, big, wide receivers, and they double those guys over on defense when it comes late in the session. I think that's a good learning experience. We're not going to face anybody in 4A that's going to have receivers like that.
Yeah. You might face a better quarterback, right? Elizabethan's quarterback's really good.
Okay, I think he's really good, but do you think he's as good with the ball in his hands, or I don't know if he's as good throwing as Potts is.
I'll tell you what, with 25 behind me at running back and those wide receivers they have around me, I could look good.
Yeah.
No.
That'd be a pretty good combination.
Yeah, no, it was, they've got, Matt Lowe said tonight, I heard him on 99.1 talking about it, and I think I made the comment a minute ago. He said, yes, and Jordan has some really good talent around him.
Oh, without a doubt.
That number 11, I didn't know. I didn't know that 11 looks like the kid that everybody should be trying to sign.
Yeah, you know, the thing with 11 is he didn't even play offense last year or defense. And he got pretty frustrated, and, you know, I think his dad put some feelers out there about transferring to a couple of different places, which was kind of odd because he's such a good player. Then he comes in this week, you know, the last 2 weeks, and he's been the go-to guy.
Yeah. He plays hard.
Oh, yeah. No, I've watched him play since he was about 8 years old.
Yeah.
He's a very talented kid. He's always been one of those kids that, you know, if you didn't know better, you'd think he's an 11-year-old playing in the 8-year-old league. I mean, he's really good. Yeah.
No, he was. I'll tell you what, though, your offensive line, they had their way with that defensive line in the second half. Do you know the time of the possession in the second half of that, or the whole football game? It seemed like y'all dominated the time of possession.
I think we had 9 more minutes than they had in the total possession. But, you know, that's kind of a skewed stat, too, because they had a pick six, and then they had one possession where they got the ball, and then they threw an interception on the first play. So, you know, they kind of shortchanged themselves a little bit.
Right, then they fumbled it in the same quarter.
Yeah, they did fumble it, but I think they fumbled it on third down.
Third quarter, I bet y'all had the ball 12 minutes.
Yeah, well, if it's a 12-minute quarter, I would have bet we had it 7.5.
I think they threw an interception on the first play, and then a couple plays later they fumbled. I think they only run like 4 plays in the third quarter.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right, which adds up to about 2 minutes.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was impressive. Well, hey, good luck the rest of the way.
Sounds good, buddy. Thank you.
Enjoy the PA life. You'll be there for a while.
Yeah.
All right.
See you, buddy.
See you, man.
All right, let's jump out and take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Special guest.
Special guest.
That's right.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the hot water wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do. Renai, hot water for all.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Mr. Walker. A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. all at Hammer's famous low price.
Race on down!
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
And welcome back to the Friday Night Scoreboard. Appreciate all the calls we've had tonight. Appreciate Richie No calling in. He answered every question we had except for the one that I asked about his son. Did he get all the talent from his mother? So, yes, he did. So he didn't want to talk about it. But anyway, beside the point, 483-8112, give us a call. We'll be more than glad to try to answer your question. Like I said, there's not a lot of games tonight. There were a lot last night. A lot got postponed tonight. As I said earlier, we were talking about Oak Ridge and Kingsport. I think they could have played tonight, and weather probably wouldn't have been a factor. No more rain than we had in Clinton. Now, it might have poured down here, but I don't think it did. But no more rain than we had in Clinton. It wouldn't have been a factor tonight.
I don't know why people moved the games to last night, and I don't know why people moved the game to tomorrow.
But tomorrow's forecast could
be worse.
Because between 3 and 5 in the morning, there's supposed to be some stuff come through. I don't know. I don't know if tomorrow's forecast is any better than today. What if it's a rain out? What if it's just a downpour tomorrow?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Miss Thompson, if you're watching tonight, call the show and give us an update on why that game was canceled and moved. Was it just, basically, I guess you're just canceling the Oak Ridge game tonight based on a forecast.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, I think they probably were looking, because they probably canceled it early. I think they probably canceled it by 12. They were probably looking at the forecast earlier, and as everybody knows, the weather changes around here.
Absolutely.
Because earlier in the week, if you looked at the forecast, what was coming from the hurricane that was coming this way, was going to turn and come this way. But it turned and was supposedly went up into the Kentucky area. We're still going to get some of it, but we're not going to get as much as we had that we were supposed to get earlier in the week. So, go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight, Quinter, Cox?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good, buddy.
It's Miller, John Miller.
Hey, John.
I want to ask your new special guest there a question, and it has to do with football, too.
Okay.
All right, new special guest. I got the question.
Tonight. I want to ask him, who has the better concession stand, Anderson County or in Knox County?
Better concession.
Who's the better concession, AC or Knox County? I can answer. Yeah, you should know the answer to that. Anderson County.
Anderson County, John.
Okay, I'll put this on the board here. I went over to CAK tonight, and I had plans on, contributing to their booster club and a concession stand. That's what we do. We contribute.
Yeah.
Got over there and they had nothing but like candy and a microwave popcorn.
Yep.
Is that through all Knox County?
I think Knox County, now CAK is not part of Knox County Schools, but everything that is sold out of a Knox County concession stand has to be prepackaged.
But I saw them cooking hamburgers last night at AC.
They cooked hamburgers the AC Clinton game. They cooked hamburgers.
I saw them.
Pete Sexton over there.
Yeah, Pete. I saw Pete. Yeah, I really did.
Yeah. Here's what's funny. 5-Star Preps did a little documentary of the AC Clinton game, and one of the things they introed with was him cooking, and I was like, whoa! I didn't know you was even allowed to cook hamburgers before the game, because I did read in Knox County that the KCS put out, Knox County Schools put out, that everything that was sold would be prepackaged. So to answer your question, I think any of our local schools here that we cover, when you travel, don't be going over to look to get you a hot dog or hamburger or a bag of popcorn. It ain't gonna happen.
I found out the hard way tonight, John.
What'd you eat? A couple packs of Airheads?
No, I didn't. I got a bag of microwave popcorn. Took about 3 minutes, and a Dr. Pepper, and that was all.
I heard that, man.
Hey, did Clinton look any more together tonight? I mean, what was the? I mean, obviously it's week to week, no scrimmages, no spring football with the new coach. What was the consensus tonight?
No comment.
Okay.
All right. Y'all have a good show.
All right. See you, buddy.
All right, bye.
Wow, no comment. John's always got a comment. Defensively, apparently they're really struggling.
Me.
So
it's week 2.
We'll leave it at that. Week 2, and they give up what, 70? No, wait a minute.
They gave up 45 and 41. That's 86.
86 points, 2 games. They got to stop the bleeding somehow. I don't know how they do it, but they got to stop it somehow. So
Sleepy might need to be the DC.
He might be. Anyway, 483-8112, give us a call. Cox, let's see, next week we'll have college football.
Yep, Thursday night.
Thursday night, college football, Thursday night. So looks like we're gonna get one college football game anyway in. We're still a few weeks away from SEC football starting. Still think it's gonna happen?
Oh yeah.
You think so?
I think so.
Think they'll play the whole year?
Yes, very much so. I think the Big Ten might join the party earlier than they thought now.
See something today said maybe the city might do it in November.
Might start the party in November.
But that's going to be too late to play for a national championship, though.
I don't know.
Well, how can they judge? Because Tennessee's over what? November what?
No, Tennessee goes into December this year.
Goes into December?
Second week of December, I think. There's no SEC championship game.
Yeah, I thought there was.
Okay, let me. There is. There is.
Well, but still, yet you would have only got 4 games in, 4 or 5 games in. Because it's November the 5th, isn't it? Or December the 5th is Tennessee's last game against Florida. So that only gives you 5 games.
Tennessee.
How can you have a team that's just won 5 games to play somebody that might have won 10? That's not fair.
No, I don't think they'll be eligible. But if you look at the Tennessee schedule, they play 5 football games in November. So you're right, they'll play 5 football games. Their last football game is 12-5.
So I'm saying, I mean, there's just
what's the point?
What's the point about what?
If you're the Big Ten, what's the point in playing 5 football games?
Well, I think what the Big Ten's going to do is to play from November through December and play a whole schedule. Which, if you do that, could the NCAA, which the NCAA has control, not the Power 5, the NCAA does, could they hold the national championship game up until the Big Ten plays their games so you can put a national championship? I didn't understand. Here's what I didn't understand last week. Why did we rank the Big Ten? Why was Ohio State number 2 when they're not even playing? What's the deal? Well,
how can you rank a team that's not going to have a season?
That's what I'm saying. How do you rank a team that's not going to have a season? I mean,
I agree.
I don't understand. That's crazy.
But keep in mind, college football playoffs is owned by ESPN. So you know they're going to have them. They've paid the NCAA way too much money not to have them.
Well, I understand they might be going to have them, and I buy that. But I don't know how they make it legit.
I don't think.
To let Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, whoever, Wisconsin, whoever, in, or Nebraska. And I ain't worried about Nebraska anyway, because they've been horrible the last 4 or 5 years and don't seem to be getting any better. So if you're a Nebraska fan, I'm sorry. But, I mean, they're the ones that's crying probably as big as anybody.
Absolutely.
They filed a lawsuit and everything else, so. I don't understand. They filed a lawsuit, but they don't want no money. They said they don't want no more than $75,000.
They just won't play.
They just won't play.
Which makes sense.
Well, it does make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did Fulton get 9? A field goal and a touchdown?
They kicked a field goal in the first drive of the third quarter, and they scored on a late touchdown and missed the extra point.
They missed the extra point?
Well,
okay.
No, I'm wrong. They scored on the last play of the game, and they did not kick the extra point. So that's how they end up getting 9.
Oh, okay.
Is your brother sick?
He's sick, yeah.
Yeah. We missed him tonight. We went to pregame at Litton's, and that's one of his favorite stops.
Yeah, he's sick.
Yeah.
I don't know how sick, but he's sick.
Yeah, wonder Kingston. You know, what if you're a kid at Kingston right now? Is that still? Are they still got another week? Is that a 2-week?
No, they're going to play next week.
They are.
Here's the kicker. Here's what I was told now. Let me see if I can find it here and I'll read so I quote it exactly right. So somebody don't crucify me. You know how that is. All right. Sunbright is out for 2 weeks. 11 starters with COVID. 11 starters.
Huh.
And that's a good thing to ask is, how many kids does Sunbright have anyway?
They can't have more than 30.
So to take 11 starters out, yep. So that's what you got to wonder for somebody like, let's say AC, or let's say somebody like Oak Ridge or Maryville. What happens when that happens to one of those teams that's got bigger rosters? You know it's going to happen. Well, if I understand right, I might be wrong about it. No, I know I'm not wrong. I know I'm right because I know somebody's daughter percent on. AC sent 6 cheerleaders home.
Yeah.
From last night's game.
And
only one's got it, not 5 of them, but one of them had it.
And I don't know this. Like, I don't know the answer to this question. You might. How do those 5 get sent home and everybody else that cheers with that group not?
I think that was probably, in my opinion.
They cheer together. They practice together.
My opinion would be, and it's only my opinion, they pinpointed them as actually being together in a close proximity of each other for longer than 10 minutes.
So cheering, I mean, those girls were like this last night.
Like this, right. And probably at the end of the game, they was talking. I don't know how they didn't send more people home, just to be honest with you. That's a question I asked myself. Because if you see some footage of that game, after the game, the cheerleaders and the students that were on the field, they were all together. So I could have seen where you could have probably sent 100 home maybe. But they chose 6. How they chose that 6?
I'm sure
they went back and looked at video or something, because there was a lot of pictures on Facebook about the game, and you seen a lot of cheerleader stuff. But I'm assuming that's how they
I'm sure they got protocol they have to go by.
I'm sure they got protocol too.
Yeah.
Well, they had protocol. They weren't going to allow 2 bands up there, but Clinton played up there last week. They give them an exemption for somehow. I don't know how they did it, but you know, Clinton got to go up and play. I'm glad they did, but you know, it's like tomorrow, Kingsport, Dobbins Bennett's band don't travel to Oak Ridge.
Yeah.
And it's one of the biggest bands in the state. It might be the biggest band in the state. Over 400 from the 20 to the 20 on the football. It's the biggest band I've ever seen in high school. Not saying it's the best band, but for that many members, it is a good band. Kingston has a pretty good band too. Well, Harriman does too, and so does Rockland.
Did Oneida play tonight?
Well, we don't know if Oneida played tonight.
Oneida canceled last minute.
Canceled last minute. Well, that's what
right.
we thought. That's what we thought back there when we were looking at it when I first came in. So there's not a lot of games tonight. This sort of reminds me of like a bye week, and everybody's got a bunch of byes this week or something.
Remember that happens like week 7 or week 8?
Week 7 or week 8.
Yeah.
All right, folks, 483-8112. Give us a call. We'll hang around at 12 o'clock at least, and that's not far off, just to be honest with you. So give us a call. You know, we didn't. Our Oak Ridge guy hadn't called in tonight. He don't have nothing.
He's still watching the forecast with their AD.
Yeah, he's still watching the forecast with the AD. He's not going to the game tomorrow anyway. He must have some lame excuse that he can't go. It's, you know, he's got to wash his car, or mow the yard, or I don't know, walk the dog or something. He won't be able to go though. He's got somebody that rules over him. So
we've been saying this for a long time.
What's that?
And I really think this could be Oak Ridge's year to play for a 5A state championship. We talked about it for the last couple of years. After watching Powell last night, and I'm not saying Powell's not good. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not discounting anything that happened. But Oak Ridge's strength is running the football. Powell's weakness.
Well, Oak Ridge's got some receivers too.
Well, I'm just saying, but their strength.
No, their strength. I agree with you on that. Their strength. Well, I'll tell you something else. You know, for the last couple of years, Coach Gaddis has said, you know, our offensive line's got to get better. And I heard him say maybe 2 weeks ago, he was talking about the offensive line, how much better that offensive line was. And so I think Oak Ridge's offensive line's now caught up with everything else. That only does good things for your running back.
And he's good already.
So they've made him better. Their quarterback is back this year. They got some good receivers. So, man, I think they got a freshman kid that can absolutely burn it.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, you look at the comparisons. Oak Ridge has a good running back. AC's got a good running back. They both got good lines. And I think last night, Anderson County gave the people in 5A the recipe. They gave them the recipe.
I agree. I know what I'd do. I know what I'd do.
Keep those athletes off the field on offense.
Yeah.
Shorten the game. Yeah. I mean, that's how West beat them.
You know, Mr. Noel wouldn't have had 190-some yards, all-purpose yards last night if I'd have been on the other side as defensive coordinator. He might have been lucky to have 9.
You had 8 or 9 in the box.
I'd have had some people in the box, and I'd have took a chance with their receivers and played them straight up. Could it work? I don't know, but I also know this. Here's some things that was interesting. Let's see, is it on this? What list is it on? It's on this list right here. Listen to this. Let me find it here. Red Bank, 31. Ottawa, 7. East Hamilton, 31. Soddy Daisy, nothing. Those are 2 big wins for those 2 schools that's in that region with AC.
Yep.
So, who'd you say last week you thought AC's competition was? Did you say East Hamilton?
East Hamilton, yeah.
It's East Hamilton. Well, that 2 beat Soddy Daisy last night, 31-0. So, we'll see. We'll see.
But on the flip side of that, the 5A schools around here, seeing Red Bank and seeing Soddy Daisy and Ray County get beat the last 2 weeks by the way they got pounded, that's got to make the 5A schools that go down that way to play feel pretty good.
You know, usually Oak Ridge has to get, for some reason,
Oak Ridge, Fulton,
they've been down there. They go that way. So, but anyway, I just thought those were 2 interesting scores. They got to watch the game last night. They picked the game up and got to watch it. I think that's a disadvantage playing on Thursday nights on TV. You get to break down the game, you get to see it in person instead of on film. I think it's to me, it's just a whole lot different.
If you're a Oneida, if you're a school in that area that doesn't get a lot of publicity, I think it's really good for the kids. But if you're an Anderson County or an Alcoa or a Maryville or a Powell, I just don't know what you have to gain from it.
Not unless it's all about the money they got last night.
They ain't getting enough money to. It ain't like they're handing them, $20,000.
Not handing them $20,000. I think they might have got $1,000 or $750
I don't know.
or something like that. I think it's what they said they got.
I don't know. I mean, they better be paying me $5,000 to $10,000 for me to even think about it.
Well, if you're
$750 don't even buy a football.
You're right. If you're somebody like Oneida that doesn't get a lot of coverage, if you're somebody
Rockwood,
like Coalfield, Rockwood, those teams, they get a lot of coverage. It's really been good for their programs. Harriman and Kingston too, and Oliver Springs. You take those programs.
It's great for them.
Yeah, it is. It's really good for them.
I just don't know what you have to gain if you're a Powell or a Maryville or an Alcoa. I mean, some of those. That's like Fulton. Why do they not go to Fulton? They have nothing to gain.
The only thing I could say about that would be that you get to put your kids, it gets a little bit more exposure.
They get so much exposure now with all these social media outlets, everything else.
Well, no, I agree. I agree with you, but it just puts them out there, and I think you get to see, I think I would much rather, if I'm a coach, either if I was scouting, be there in person or get to see them live. It's the same thing as the tape, but it's just a little bit different, or that's what I think anyway.
Yeah.
Just my thoughts. But no, you're right. I don't know why Alcoa does it neither. But why do these bigger schools do it? Not unless it's just to get some of the kids some exposure that they might not be getting, that the other kids or a few other kids, because there's only a small handful of those kids getting big time exposure anyway. Not all 11 of them or not all 22 that's playing offensive defense, but that's just what I think.
Well, and the other thing is, if you look at it, the Catholic game tomorrow, they're playing that game on ESPN to try to help their recruiting. And I understand that. They're playing against the McCaulleys, the Baylors, the Brentwoods of the world.
Who does Catholic play tomorrow?
They play a team out of Texas that Deion Sanders coaches.
That's right, he does. I remember that now.
Noon tomorrow on one of the ESPN channels.
Yeah. Well, now listen.
You know, that helps you.
You won't talk about playing on Mark Packer's channel or here on Channel 12, or you want to talk about playing ESPN. I see the advantage of playing on ESPN.
I do too.
Because and it's nothing against the two previous people I said. It's just because the exposure is even more. I mean, it's even greater than what Channel 12 or or what Packer and them play on.
And I see the advantage of playing on Channel 12 because there's so many people that can watch your game that might not be able to get to that game, but it doesn't change it from Friday night.
True.
You're still on Friday night.
Yeah, and you know, we found out a lot on here's I'm gonna answer your question that Richie couldn't answer a while ago. Yes, TV hurt the Powell Iron Scan game last night. Okay, and why? There was some threat of rain. So when there's rain, people don't come out. It's evident. I mean, it happens sometimes with us. So you just have to take the good with the bad. Great caller, you're on the air.
What time is that Catholic game tomorrow?
What's that?
Are you a Catholic fan now?
I'm just curious. What time is that Catholic game tomorrow?
12.
On TV?
12 o'clock. You'll still be asleep.
Hey, don't let me come over there, Queener.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Did you go to game tonight?
I'll be there tomorrow night.
No way.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
Hey, I hope you guys will be there. What else do you have to do? Nothing.
What do I have to do?
Right.
Not really sure. I might watch the race. It's in Daytona tomorrow night.
I'll make sure David has good seats for you.
David who?
David Clary.
Why would I want to sit with David Clary? He does radio. I don't want to do no radio.
They sure don't want me on radio.
Huh?
Say what?
I don't do radio, so I couldn't help you any.
Oh, well, just enjoy the view.
Look at this man. He's got a face for TV.
Look at the view. What view? I'll watch it on Channel 15 because Clary's probably going to stream it, and it'll probably be on Channel 15.
You'll be honored to sit next to the voice.
Hey, got a question for you.
No, he'd be honored to sit by me.
Why did that game get changed?
Say what?
Why did the game get changed to Saturday?
I mean, just texting a couple people. Apparently, a better date.
What?
It's due to rain. That's the word. But I guess they wanted a better date.
What rain?
Exactly. Right. Well, what rain? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, rain might be tomorrow.
I can only assume just for a better date.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. I mean, I understand myself, but the forecast tomorrow don't look good. You know, it might be worse than what it was today.
Yeah, I know. I think we just played ourselves. So let's hope that's not the case. So.
Yeah, I hope it is too. I hope Coach Gass don't get rained out. I know it's he loves that. He loves playing team sport, and maybe he'll.
It'll be a good test for us. You know, he was talking about with David. Hardin Valley, was a good team and not a great team, and Dobbins Bennett's a great team. After that game, we will really know where we stand. So
I think Hardin Valley got beat pretty bad tonight. Is that correct?
Who played Hardin? Who'd Hardin Valley play tonight?
I can tell you. I think they were getting beat pretty good.
Who'd they play?
We're trying to find it here.
All right.
Hardin
Valley played Cleveland.
Cleveland tonight.
I mean, I don't know much about Cleveland. I'll assume they're good.
They lost 38-12 to Cleveland.
38-12.
Central beat Cleveland last week, I think 20-6.
Okay.
So.
Well, we will find out tomorrow.
Caller, I really think this could be your year.
Hey, let's hope so. Let's hope so.
Yeah, I need to see you play in person, but Anderson County and Powell were both really good. I don't think Powell was as good. I think Powell was better last year.
Packer pays $2,000 a game, and they were worried about thunderstorms tonight, afraid they'd get down here and have to postpone the game and play it tomorrow anyway, and they didn't want to travel all the way down. They'd have to travel all the way back tomorrow. That's what Big Brad told me.
So Packer pays $2,000 a game, which is 250 tickets. That costs you at least that many.
At least he's paying for it.
Yeah.
Maybe it ought to be more, but that's beside the point. Ain't got nothing to do with that. So,
guys, how many wins do you think Clinton's going to get?
They need to let me negotiate for him. $2,000.
Maybe not any.
Oh, hold on. They play Halls. Give them some credit.
That don't matter. Hall's a better football team.
Hall's a better football team.
You need to
right
do your
now.
homework. Don't come on here talking no junk like that.
If you don't know it, yeah. I don't know.
It gets worse.
It don't get any better for him. Maybe Carnes, maybe Campbell County. Maybe Fulton. Not unless Fulton improves a little bit. Fulton's young football team struggling a little bit right now. Maybe. And those maybes are really big. It's all in capital letters. All right.
Yeah.
Right now, Clinton's having trouble on defense. 2 games, 86 points. Not really scoring a lot. Tonight's the most points they've scored all year long. Tonight, 15 or 16. I believe it's 15.
So they got Halls at Meg's.
Meg's pounded Greenback tonight, and they'll pound Clinton too.
Now think about this.
That was a mistake to even schedule that game when they put it on there last year.
Hey, think about this. After they play Meg's, they play Powell, Oak Ridge, West, Fulton.
Yeah, coming down the stretch, no, it's not good.
And then at Campbell County at Carnes.
Not a really good schedule for a new coach that had no spring or no scrimmages or nothing.
And John Miller won't even comment.
And John Miller wouldn't even comment about it tonight. So that tells me there's something he didn't like. So
that's interesting. I would, if John Miller is listening, I would really like to hear what he has to say. I'm interested to hear what he saw. If he can call back, please let us know.
Well, he might not be going badmouth because he's a Clinton guy. He's a loyal Clinton guy. And
well, I'm hoping he can call back and at least
maybe he'll call back and tell us. We'll see. We'll
all right.
We'll see if he'll call.
With that note, I will give him the mic and rain for the phone. I'll let you guys go.
All right, see you, bud. Okay, that's one ticket Oak Ridge don't have to worry about selling to Marcus. He's not going to the game. He's going to bail out.
Before we take that call, I've been asking about a kid from Anderson County. I noticed him a couple years ago playing, real good body on him, and then he went out there last night. And then I noticed as he was leaving the field that he wasn't in uniform. And I found out his name's Anthony White, 24. So I think he's their starting safety. And he wasn't out there last night.
Is he hurt?
Hurt. And he's a good-sized kid, good-looking kid. And yeah, I think he was injured, and I think he's torn his MCL, but hopefully he'll be back in the next couple weeks. So I was asking that last night. I mean, he's a good-looking athlete, and Anderson County could use some size in that secondary, and and it's getting late. And he's a good-looking kid.
It is.
Quick, caller, you're on the air.
What do you say, guys?
What's going on, John?
Hey, Jonathan, your special guest, you got him out on the link?
Absolutely. He's been out there a couple times this week, Sleepy. He don't get any better sitting at the house.
I bet he's going to be good.
So
his mother's pretty good in golf.
Mother?
Yeah.
Like Richie's boy.
Yeah, like Richie's boy. That's exactly right, John. Did you go to game tonight?
Yeah. I'll talk about it there in a second. The AC did everything but win that game last night.
One play away.
That quarterback for Powell, where did he go to school at last year? Was he at Powell?
Yeah, he's a Farragut kid. Grew up in Farragut. Sister went to Farragut, played for the Farragut, and then went to the Baby Falcons and played for the Baby Falcons. His coach for the Baby Falcons is now the offense coordinator at Powell High School. He was a freshman last year at Powell.
Oh, he was at Powell last year?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's pretty good. Pulled a Houdini there a couple times and made some big plays, no doubt.
Yeah, and I, it was a great play. I was standing beside some people in Anderson County. It was like, that's lucky, and I was like, kid made a great play, and I mean, the Faust kid made 2 huge plays in that drive. Anderson County, I mean, they put their kids in a great situation to win. I thought Coach Chow in the second half, that defense, I mean, they didn't give up any points to the last drive. And really, yeah, that started about midway through the second quarter.
Is Chadwell the defensive coordinator,
Yeah.
or is he's defense?
Yeah, he's defense
I didn't
coordinator.
know if he's defense or offense.
He took a little bit of blame last night. I talked to him, and it was like, man, you know, the coaches being coaches, you know, grass is always greener, should have done this, should have done that.
Yeah.
But when he made that adjustment there in the second quarter, and I mean, Powell struggled. Powell didn't score a point to the last drive for basically 2.5 quarters.
Right, yeah, they make some adjustments, no doubt, and get some good
Sleepy,
coaching
what about
staff.
the game tonight? Did the defense struggle, or is it a hard time moving the football?
Well, we ran the game at halftime. It was 14-0. Came out in the third quarter, had the ball, and threw a pick six. I kept took a lot of air out of the team, and then I think right after that we had another interception, and it just snowballed. Really snowballed pretty quick there in the third quarter. But in the first half, defense didn't do too bad. They had a couple interceptions. We just couldn't do anything offensively. Had trouble getting any offense going, and Coach Keith's son come in, Joshua Keith.
Yeah.
He came in there late in the third, and he ended up had, I think, a 60-yard touchdown run and also a touchdown pass. So he's going to be pretty good, I believe. Something to build around.
Yeah, there's a lot of people wondering when he'll take the reins over. It's what I'm being told anyway. I'm not seeing him play or anything, so that's what the talk is. He's really good. Maybe that's maybe they need it. Maybe that's what they need. You can't wait till you're down, 35-0 to score you 15. You gotta. Maybe they need to make that change a little bit quicker. I don't know. Just a thought.
Well, I know Coach Keys wants to bring him along slow, and Sagerson, he's a lot of, he's a good quarterback, and he, has more experience. But he's not getting a lot of time to really throw the ball either. He's sort of scrambling around quite a bit. So it's a combination of factors. Coach Keith talked on his post-game show. He said that they need to tackle better. So he wasn't happy with the tackling. And he also said they played 7 freshmen tonight, or they started 7.
Wow. Wow.
Young team, and yeah.
Played a lot of them last week too.
Right.
But Anderson County's playing a lot of sophomores.
A lot of new players playing.
Well, sometimes it's better to lose with the future.
Absolutely.
Than to lose with what's there. I mean, sometimes you got to try to get better somehow. And if a freshman gives you a better chance, then so be it. You move on and play. I would play the best player. I don't care who it is in practice. That's who would play for me on Friday night. Well, I ain't got nothing to do with it, so I'm just a fan. I'd just like to see Clinton get it turned around so they could be respectable again. I'm not asking for a state championship. I'm just asking for some respectability.
Yeah, but once you get them in the playoffs, then the fan base wants them over the hump playing.
No, seriously, I don't think that, Cox. I'm going to disagree with you. Clinton's never been the type of team that, they want to go to the playoffs, maybe a round or two, but I've never heard this is the year we'll win the state. You hear them talk up AC, they're talking about winning the state this year. And Clinton's had some really good teams in the past, but I just think Clinton just wants a good football team, and if that run happens, they're all on board. If they win a couple rounds in the playoffs and you get beat, you've had a good year. Any team would take that, really. It's the way Clinton's been the last 4 or 5 years. Any team would take that.
So
everybody wants to win the state championship.
I'm going to ask both of you this
realistic.
question.
Some of that stuff's unrealistic.
I understand, but which one leaves the worst taste in your mouth? Knowing you could win a state championship and that's what your goal is, and not getting there. You know, getting upset. You've been there. It stinks.
Yeah, I have.
I mean, not many times. You were on the good side of it a lot.
Yeah.
But then, or sitting there and watching 10 weeks and being 2-8 or 1-9.
I can tell you, those 1-9 seasons are tough.
Brutal.
I've been around them too.
At least you get to enjoy some wins as you go along.
Yeah. But if you look at Clinton's football tradition over the past, though, you'll see teams that are 7-3, 6-4,
always
8-2.
Gaylor always
had really good football teams. So that's what I'm talking about. I think Clinton needs to get back to consistent. You know, I don't know that maybe they do like Hall's done many years ago. I think Coach Kerr was there maybe. Drop out, don't play in a region, play other games, try to get the winning atmosphere back. The Anderson County game is not a game that needs to be played anymore. It's not a rivalry game. It's just it's just a gate game. That's all that is. Oak Ridge needs to take Clinton's place in the Anderson County game and let that go on and rock on until Clinton gets back. That's my opinion, which don't mean anything.
It's a waste of game.
Yeah, Oak Ridge and Anderson County going to play. I hope this new reclassification, hope they play each other. I think they need to play.
I really heard that AC wanted to try to work that out, and it just didn't happen.
I asked Coach Gaddis a few weeks ago. I had him on the locker room chat, and he said that's a question to ask AC.
Ooh.
He said, you know, we went to go to Mount Juliet and play, and we didn't want to do that. So I think he tried to schedule them, but he felt like AC couldn't work it out for some reason.
Interesting. I think it'd be a great game. I really do. I think it helps Anderson County, and I think it helps both schools in the long run. I think Oak Ridge has more to lose than they do to gain in that game, but I think it helps. I think it helps AC.
I don't know what will happen to the reclassification. I don't know where AC will go next year, whether it's up, down, or same, or whatever. So I don't know. So if they go up, they might be in the same region with them. So I don't know.
Yeah, I just think all county schools play each other, and Anderson County's had some really good teams the last 3 years, and that's been some really good games against Oak Ridge. I think they would probably have been the favorites to win those games, but like you say, Jonathan, Oak Ridge has got more to lose, but still I think your county schools should play each other. You know, it's a win-win for everybody, and it's good football, and you like to see good teams play each other.
Yep.
Sleeper, we got these lines lit up, and I'm going to say this before we hop off here.
What about that Daniel Boone beating Greenville tonight?
Daniel Boone beat Greenville?
Didn't they come close last year to beating them? Daniel Boone had a good football team last year.
Wow, they did, 35-34.
Yeah, but tonight was Greenville's first night to play. They didn't play week 1.
Right. And they didn't get to practice the week before.
So.
And that guy opens up his coaching career to a loss to Daniel Boone.
I don't know that I'd put a lot into that, but Daniel Boone had a good football team last year.
Yep, the CAK beat them last week, 28-14. The CAK's not a bad team. They're improved this year as well.
That's what it seems.
Let's try to get back on track against the Red Devils next week, our first home game. Coach Keith, I know Clinton fans are out in force tonight, and they'll be there next week to support the team and hopefully get Coach Keith his first win.
All right, John, we'll see you, bud.
All right, see ya.
Quick caller, you're on there.
Yeah, you think there's Dobbins play they play Jim, I can't say Donovan Benz, they play Farragut.
Does does DB play Farragut?
Yes.
I don't know if DB plays Farragut this year or not. I can tell you.
What about Lindless and Kingsport? Which team is good? I mean, Lindless is a pretty good team, I think.
Elizabethan is a good team. They won the state championship last year. They returned their quarterback. They returned some key starters.
Do they play? They beat Science Hill last week.
Okay. Yeah, they
So what about Diamond Bennett? You think he'll be good this year?
Dommins Bennett, I don't think they're is what they have been in the past. They've struggled the last couple of years. I wouldn't be surprised if Oak Ridge, I'd say Oak Ridge is at least a 10 to 12 point favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, if you was on hold there with us and hung up, call us right back. It's free now. Got a little packed there for just a few minutes. So, anyway, 483-8112. I'll tell you, jump off, take another commercial break. We'll be right back just in a couple minutes. Okay, maybe we're not going to be able to take a break. We'll keep on talking.
Yeah, we can always talk. You said something about classifications earlier.
Yes.
Football classifications, I don't think will change. They're staying 6A in football.
I understand that, but you might get moved up or down.
Yeah,
or
you
whatever,
might. If you're, I mean, who knows what's going to happen with COVID and school sizes and, how that's going to go. But I don't think football will change much. The basketball, baseball, softball thing, I was talking to Coach Freeman last night at Anderson County. They feel as though they might be 3A in basketball, softball, and baseball, which will help them. They won't be going to that big 4 classification, the 4A classification.
Well, isn't that where they're at basically now?
No, they're in AAA in baseball.
Yeah, I know that. It's 3A. I mean, there's only
It's
3A,
but they won't have to play Bearden, Farragut, Maryville, those schools in the region.
And don't ask me who told me this, because I do not remember. I was told AC probably in football would go to 5 next year.
Ooh, I don't know about that. They got 1,100 some kids.
Depends on where they break it at. So I don't know.
I had an AC fan tell me this, and this was my response. The guy said, "Hey, if they don't go to 4 classifications, that just puts us in a bad spot." And I said, "I agree, but you know how you could have 150 less kids? Don't accept transfers." I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I got a text during a conversation with Sleepy there about Oak Ridge in Anderson County, and the guy that sent me text said not true.
Oh,
about AC and Oak Ridge. Everybody's telling their side of the story, so maybe it'll happen sometime in the near future. So I don't know.
Hopefully it will.
But anyway, let's see if our help's back. Let's jump out of here and take a break, and then we'll be right back for the final 15 or 20 minutes of it here, if he's back there. He was helping Brad, I think.
This is the part of the show we let Sully start predicting how many games Tennessee football will win next year.
None.
Or this year.
5-5.
5-5?
5-5.
Yeah, that would be I think 10.
5-5. 5-5 or 6-4.
I think they'll win 4 or 5 games.
I don't see no more than that on there.
About
4.
You said 4?
Yeah. Well, if you think about a kid his age and kids that are in high school now, they've never known Tennessee to have a good football team.
That's true.
I think that helps back.
Let's jump out and take a break. We'll be right back just in a couple minutes.
Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the hot water wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do. Renai, hot water for all.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
Welcome to 5-Star Prep Friday Night Scoreboard. Glad you're with us tonight. Appreciate all the calls we've had. 483-8112. We will take your call. We'll be here for a little bit longer. We're going to talk a little high school. That's all we've been talking. Talk a little college football. Next week, I don't know who kicks off next week, but there is a college football game next Thursday night. So
it's something Arkansas and Austin P.
Okay, something Arkansas.
Central Arkansas, maybe.
Central. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, mine went blank.
That's a new school at something Arkansas is. They're from down there in Arkansas, right?
Somewhere in Arkansas.
I didn't know this till just now. They said Tennessee didn't practice today because of a COVID case. Multiple COVID cases on the football team, apparently. I think tomorrow they were going to postpone practice to do, there was something going on with the team doing a march or something, I think. I'm not for sure.
Move practice times.
Move practice times to accommodate the players to do their thing. About protest or something they're doing tomorrow. I'm not for sure the exact what they're doing, so I can't really comment. I just know they changed practice because of it. It's been a weird. I don't want to say it. You know, already with the COVID-19, it's weird, and then all the things that's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, with pro sports. I know we don't talk a lot of pro sports here, but there's a lot of.
How much longer 2021?
I can't get here quick enough, but I don't know. I don't know what 2021 will bring. That's the key question. Does anything change? I don't know, man. I don't know. When I came on tonight, I did see last night. It looked like a few more people wearing masks. I know that they really had a lot of coaches on last night that were asking people to wear a mask. And all I asked, we had a caller call in tonight, and he called from Rockwood. Remember, in fact, he said he wasn't going back no more. Not because people wasn't wearing masks, but because they were throwing football in the stands. And he was mad about that. But he said he didn't see nobody with a mask on tonight at Rockwood. So I don't know if that's the case or not. I was not there. So I do not know. But all I ask people to do now, if you want to see high school football go, follow the rules, man. Just follow the rules. Wear a mask, social distance. And if you can't do that, just don't go. Don't go. Because we could be like could be like some of the NFL teams and some of the college teams that's going to start out. There's not going to be any fans. We could play, high school kids could play these games no fans.
And I would rather them get to do that than not at all. I mean, in my opinion. It would stink because it's that great, you know, the atmosphere and all that. But, yeah, just.
But like I know we don't talk pro sports on this show, but how would you like to be the Raiders and the Rams with a new stadium? No, wait a minute. Yeah, Rams and the Chargers. Raiders has a new stadium too. But how would you like to be going to open up a new stadium and you're not going to be able to do it, or you're going to have limited fans?
Did the NFL allow the owners to decide if fans would be allowed to come?
Well,
did I read the Chiefs had fans coming, but the Titans don't?
That's a good question. The first pro football game is Pittsburgh, and man, I went blank. No fans.
No fans.
No fans. No fans.
I mean, but when you're sitting at home watching a good NFL football game, do you care that the fans are there?
Well, that's really a trick question because there's really not any good football games in the NFL.
Well,
it's just something a lot of people.
Every time the Cowboys come on, it's a good football game.
A lot of people don't even watch NFL no more.
Yeah, and there's a lot going on right now.
There's a lot going on.
People might start watching a lot of different sports. NASCAR and PGA golf might be the two hottest tickets on TV.
Well, NASCAR, I'll just be honest, I didn't watch any football tonight. I was watching that. When I left the house, I was watching them from Daytona tonight.
Yeah.
So I will watch, I will not care anything about high school football tomorrow night. I'm watching them race in Daytona tomorrow night. I would much rather do that. Now, I don't know if they got any, I didn't see any fans at Daytona tonight. Maybe there were some in the infield, but there were no fans that I could see in the stands tonight. And that place holds 150,000 people.
Sad.
And no fans. So, and that's a state that's pretty much open and has been for a long time. They've pretty much not had any big thing going on. So, yeah, you're right. It is sad, but it's part of life. And
David, you read on this a little bit, hear more about it than I do. Is it Harrison Bailey, the quarterback?
Yeah.
Is he any good news, bad news?
Just now starting getting to practice. He's been quarantined.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Maybe this past Monday was his first time out.
So is Garantano the starting quarterback right now?
Yeah. Game one starter, I reckon. The fight right now is for who will be number 2. And Tennessee's got like 5 kids in the running for that, I think, or 4 anyway. There's 4 of them.
So is there a possibility the Bailey kid just red shirts and rolls with it next year?
No, they don't redshirt him. Well, they might redshirt him, but I would be willing to bet he's the number 2 guy.
Well, if he's the number 2 guy, hopefully he don't play.
He's the future.
He is the future.
He's the future. Here's what'll happen. Here's what Ron Berry always used to say. There's too many kids in the quarterback room. A couple of them's got to go. They got to go.
Yeah.
So there'll be a couple of them will move on out and play. So, that's just the way it is.
Absolutely.
Well, look, supposed to have a great offensive line this year. That was with the Mays kid, supposedly, which he's probably going to wind up not being eligible. But another kid, I can't remember the name, he's transferring.
Yep.
Wasn't going to get to play, too far back down the depth chart.
Yep.
So he's moving on. Happens every year. It happens every year over there, kids.
Addition by subtraction.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a linebacker and you're 4th string, you're probably not going to see the field.
Were you surprised that Jeremy Banks' kid got to come back and play football at Tennessee?
No, not really, because I think most college football coaches believe in second chances. I really do. And, he's not bad neither. So, no, I wasn't surprised. And listen, college football, it's all about,
I'm not going to be bad.
It's all about winning, though. So if Jeremy, if he gives you an opportunity to win and you've got the least possibility of bringing him back, don't you bring him back? It's different in high school.
If I'm doing my job, I don't have to bring him back.
Yeah, I think he's still. I think he's doing his job right now, but you know
what I mean? You probably find somebody as good as Jeremy Banks.
Maybe, but
maybe it's about second chances.
Maybe it's about second chances, and he needs him right now. He's not as good at that position as he will be maybe next year.
Yeah.
And he wants to keep somebody's not quite ready to play yet. Maybe that's a scenario. But these college coaches, they got too much on the line. I mean, these huge salaries and stuff that's hanging over their heads, and it's just too much on the line, man.
What's our Oeb game of the week next week? Harriman Coalfield.
At Coalfield.
At Coalfield.
And it's a great place to go see a high school football game.
Big football game right there.
It's a big football game right there. It's a very unique place to do a football game as far as TV, because you got to do it outside. Let's hope you do it. So,
Brad, is the Kingsport Oak Ridge game going to be on TV tomorrow night, or is that non-TV game? Not if it's at Oak Ridge. Interesting. It's across the street.
Who won? Okay, I know who it is.
Probably the same person that canceled because of a forecast.
Do you like M&M's?
Do I like M&M's? Yeah. Gotcha. Same person because of the forecast. I just don't know how you change a high school football game due to a forecast.
Oh, Lord.
But I can understand because they were coming for 3 hours.
So you think it's more of the travel for the other team?
It was courtesy to Kingsport.
Well, what if they come down tomorrow and it's a flood?
They play on natural turf.
I got you. Hey, did they have turf last year? Or is this your first year?
No, they had last year.
Second year.
Hey, didn't you do a game at Oak Ridge last year, though?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I did him some favors last year, so.
Gotcha.
I got a game out of it.
Oh, okay.
Well.
All right, folks, phone ain't rung in a few minutes. We appreciate all the calls earlier. We had a ton of them, and like I said, it's sort of like a bye week almost. It feels like we didn't have. This feels like a Thursday night where there's only a few games and everybody's playing tomorrow night, but that's not the case. But some games got canceled tonight. The big one would have been Oak Ridge and DB tonight. It got canceled. So, Cox, we'll be back next week.
Next week.
We'll see you right here next week on the 5-Star Prep Friday Night Scoreboard. Hey, folks, if you're out, some of the sponsors that's rolled tonight, go by and tell them you appreciate the sponsors, because we do, and that's the only way we're on here. We're looking for sponsors all the time, and the ones we got we want to keep. So tell them you appreciate them. And we'll see you right here next Friday night on the 5-Star Prep Friday Night Scoreboard. Whoop, hold on. Stay right there. Good caller, you're there.
Hey, Mr. Quinter, it's Mr. Miller again.
Hey, John, what's going on, buddy?
Well, I heard Johnson just say something about how you cancel a game because of weather.
Yeah.
Well, back in 1980, when Emory Hill was coach at Oak Ridge, we were supposed to play them on a Friday night, and it rained so much they got that game canceled till a Monday. Because they knew if we played in the rain, we'd probably get the best of them. But it's happened before. I'm saying it's happened before.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, John, they didn't cancel because of weather. They canceled because of a forecast.
You're right, Johnson. You're right.
It ain't raining down here. It hadn't rained down here that I know of.
Let me ask you one thing, Johnson. And David, who owes it? I know we can't walk up and buy a ticket.
Correct.
But you can walk up and get concessions in certain places. I just wonder what is the difference between walking up and getting a ticket and walking up and getting a bag of popcorn.
Now, let me tell you what I heard. I heard Coach Gaddis say you could walk up and buy a ticket at an Oak Ridge football game.
Wow. But I know what I'll do tomorrow night.
Yep. He said you could walk up and buy a ticket at an Oak Ridge football game. He said that on the coach's show. I don't know if it was this week or last week one, but he did say it. So, I watch him religiously, so, that's what he said. Hall of Fame coach Joe Gaddis, too, by the way. I wish him good luck tomorrow night. I think they'll win by 30, probably.
Oh, it'll be a good game, I'm sure.
It'll be a good game. It will be.
Well, I didn't know the difference. I know the gate is a lot, but Concessions is a lot. I didn't know the difference.
Well, I started to say John's handling money, but you're handling money at a concession stand too. So, yeah, I guess it's at the gate. You can take away the money handling. You don't have to have any more than you. Hey, what didn't you like about Clinton tonight? There's something that's bugging you.
I just sort of the repeats in the last 3 years. I know it's a new season. David, you coached me when I was a young man, a young boy. But, you know, and John will tell you this through golf, through basketball, or baseball. You work on basic fundamentals. In football, it's penalties, holding on to the ball, tackling, stopping the drive, getting first down.
Yep.
But the only thing I saw that really upset me was any time that, CAK needed 5 yards, they just got us to jump off sides. They did it 4 or 5 times tonight. First down, they jump off sides. It's 1st and 5 for CAK.
Yeah, penalty. That's just discipline, and that's something I don't think Clinton's had the last 2 or 3 years. It's going to be hard to get in. But John Williams told us on the coaches show after the game tonight that Coach Keith was livid about the tackling tonight. So you're right on the tackling. Apparently they didn't tackle very well because he's even commented on it that they didn't tackle well tonight.
No, I went last night and watched the middle school. It was the same story with them, too. They try to, dance with somebody instead of break their knees.
Yeah.
And
I'm with you.
But I guess the biggest thing I didn't want to comment on was it just seemed like, and I talked to Coach earlier a month or so ago, I'm like, the biggest problems from the last previous years, it seems like, and he's heard me say this before, it seems like the play calling from the sideline to the press box is not getting back down. It's when you can't just run up the middle, man. And that's all they did the first half is run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle. And, CAK, it wasn't working. But
well, it didn't work last week neither. Did the offensive line block any better tonight? Because I didn't think the offensive line blocked last week at all.
Well, they did. I know they're young, but when you're getting beat, it's easier to get the wind knocked out of you when you're just tired.
Yeah.
And I think that's something the Clinton Dragon staff, the Clinton Dragon associate school members in Clinton High School, they're going to have to get behind this coach and this program. 100% buy in, or we might as well just, buy 40 trophies and hand them out every week.
I heard that, buddy.
So you done a good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Here's your trophy.
I understand.
You like getting beat and keep coming back here.
I understand.
I hate to be like that, David, but I heard your comment earlier. No, we don't want to win the state championship every year. And you instilled this in Coach Harmon and Randy Pickle. When you come to Clinton, you're going to get a dog fight like you ain't never seen. It don't matter if we win or not. We're going to give you all we got. 100%. The coaches are going to have multiple offenses to run, multiple defenses to run. The coaches have got it going on. The players have got it going on. So when you come here, you get some respect because I know I'm going back in time. Back when I played Clinton, we're still country. We were playing Bearden, Farragut, Austin East, Fulton, Central, all them guys back in the 80s. And I just wanted to earn respect. That's all, David. Clinton.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you too. Let's get back. I said let's get back to being respectable first before we thinking about winning the region or going to the state championship. Let's just get back to being respectable, and then take steps from there.
Yeah, I think it's going to come, but it's very frustrating when he's. I know he's under the gun. I understand that, but you got to tackle. You got to tackle. If you don't tackle, you ain't going to win.
Yeah, we're playing tackle football, that's for sure.
I just got a text saying that Kingston...
we're playing tackle football. It's,
wow.
It's a tough sport. And when I was leaving tonight, Dackerson got hurt. So I don't know what his status is going in, but I did hear something tonight that when they were practicing and in training, he didn't participate. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. And I also heard he lost 15 pounds over the summer. And I know he's a basketball player, but he got hurt tonight. He got bent over and twisted, and his dad had to go out there on the field. But, like we just said, It's a physical tackle football game. You just can't walk out there and do it. You better be in shape.
Hey, John, I'm going to ask you a question. Question here. Just got a text saying that Kingston is now playing next week against Austin East. They only had to sit out one game. Okay, but here's my question to you. If you're 7 weeks into this and you know you're the running back or the quarterback or you're a key player for the football team and you know you didn't feel well, would you go to the doctor?
Depends on how bad I feel.
I tell you what, I'd have to be just not be able to get out of the bed.
That's what I'm saying. I have to be thrown up, but I'm playing.
I know that sounds selfish, but it also is.
Yeah, but what if you don't go to the doctor and you're really infected? You take the whole team.
I know, but I mean, think about that. That's going to happen.
I get you. Yeah.
I mean, that's going to happen. I mean, what if your Alcoa's starting running back and in week 8 you're sick as a dog and you don't know what's wrong? Do you go take the chance of getting the COVID test or do you play?
It's no different having a concussion.
I'd go get a test.
Yeah, I'd get tested, I think.
I'd get tested before I made any decisions after that.
Well, if I'm somebody going to Alcoa, yes, I go get tested because I want to go play for a state championship.
But, I mean, then you're out. What if you're out the first week of the playoffs?
You just be out.
No, what if the whole team's out?
That goes back to coaching. You better have some backups. You better have alternative plans.
That's right, backups.
But here's the deal.
Plans.
But if they have a case and they have to shut down for 2 weeks, their season's done.
At the playoff time, it would be.
In the playoffs.
It would be, yeah.
You're right.
I'm telling you, there will be kids.
You're exactly right. That 7 weeks is, that's when you're pouring it on to get to the playoff.
There will be kids not go to the doctor that are sick late in the year
I'm not going to disagree
not
with
get
you.
eliminated from the playoffs.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Well, I'll say this tonight. When I was over there at CAK, and you know, we're all COVID awareness. You know, we're trying to, they announce it on the PA to wear a mask and social distance, but you look on the sideline and you see kids out there with no mask on, running the ball in and out. You see people on the sideline with no mask on. The officials had their mask and stuff on, but I mean, I'm like David. If we don't take this serious, we might not have no sports until next year. Period.
It could be. That's the message everybody's trying to preach to everybody, but it ain't catching on, John.
Well, Jonathan Cox knows just better than anything. You get inside a gymnasium, what are you going to do then? There won't be nobody in there.
Yeah.
Nobody.
That's a good question too. What'll happen with basketball? I know a lot of people don't think it'll come off this year.
I'm amazed that we're playing football, David, to be honest about it.
I am too, John.
If they have a state championship,
tonight, man, y'all be careful.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
If they have a state, yes, sir. Thank you, John. If they have a state championship in December football, we'll be playing basketball.
I know a lot of people don't think it'll happen.
You tell me how they're not going to let a basketball team play.
I just think maybe by the time it rolls around, it might be worse than what it is right now, maybe.
Well, maybe, but
so
I think. But then they won't be playing football.
All right, John, appreciate you calling us in there. We sort of took your call there, and we appreciate it. Hey, folks, we'll be right back here next Friday night on 5-Star Prep Friday Night Scoreboard. See you till next Friday.
Hope everyone has a good Friday night and a good weekend.
Good Friday night.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the hot water wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do. Renai, hot water for all.
I'm alive.
Welcome into tonight's matchup on the BBB TV Channel 12 Game of the Week, brought to you by OEB Law. It's finally time for high school football, and nobody really knew if we'd be able to play this season on time or even at all, but here we are at week one, ready to give it a go. We certainly hope you and your family have been well through these nutty times. OEB Law, again, the title sponsor of tonight's game at Wallace Black Stadium. OEB is an East Tennessee-based law firm with a national practice. OEB Law is led by Timothy G. Elrod. Tim Elrod is from and still calls Anderson County his home. OEB's practiced in state, federal, and city courts. At OEB, their clients like family and are proud to have earned a reputation as East Tennessee's premier personal injury law office, and that's why they've been voted Best of Knoxville for the past 3 years. I'm Aaron Harvey. I'm riding solo tonight. I'll have more information on that in just a moment. Everyone, preseason scrimmaging canceled for all teams in the state of Tennessee. So what should you, the fan, expect to see tonight? Well, I talked to my usual partner in crime, Coach James Gibson, about that, and here's what he had to say. He's spoken to several area coaches, and when you ask them how their team is looking this year, the consensus answer is, I don't know. So, and that's due to no live competition against an opponent, so as a coach, you really don't know what you have until the last minute, and that's frustrating. And he expects to see a lot of nerves early on and mistakes until they settle in during the second half. And especially in a game tonight between Kingston and Harriman, it's a rivalry game. It's a non-region game. And, folks, it's football. We're going to have some pregame coverage for you when we get back. This is the OEB Law Game of the Week on Channel 12.
Football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
I am a Simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career.
If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a Simplicity dealer.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Here is Helen Hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices.
Race on down!
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the Hot Water Wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do.
Feel the comforts of home with natural gas. Natural gas tankless water heaters cost almost 3 times less to operate annually than the electric models. Make the switch today.
Renai, hot water for all.
Hi, I'm Ray Varner, and we are East Tennessee's Ford dealership. We fish and play in these lakes. We explore in these woods. We experience the beauty and thrill of the ride. And we give you more ways to save with our Ford Summer Sales Event, like this new 2020 Ford Escape, new 2020 Ford Edge SEL, new 2020 Ford F-150 4x4 Super Crew. At Ray Varner Ford, we bring family together while providing the attention you deserve, the care you need, and the team you trust.
Welcome back into our OEB Law Game of the Week on Channel 12. I am Aaron Harvey, normally joined by the coach, James Gibson. Wish he could be here today. Got a phone call from him. We'd done our pregame prep and everything like normal, and he said, hey, listen, bud, I can't come tonight because I was exposed to COVID-19. And it's a big issue. This is 2020, man. This is the whole story of this year has been 2020. Let's look at how this has affected high school football in the area. All 7-on-7 and preseason scrimmages were forbidden. A player with a positive test or symptoms has to isolate for 10 days and be free of symptoms or fever-free for 24 hours. And all coaches were required to complete online NFHS course related to COVID-19 safety. So everybody wanted to play. We didn't know if we'd be able to. They talked about the governor's mandate, his executive order, whether or not that could play into whether or not we could do high school football. But COVID-19, it's something that has affected the entire nation, and it's affecting people here. Everyone, upon entering the station or entering the stadium, including myself, had to have a temperature check, and the players have to do that on a weekly basis. So it's got a big impact potentially on this football season, and all players are screened once a week. Like I said, anyone with symptoms, coaches or players, required to stay home until given the go from a medical professional. All players have to have temperature checked prior to each practice and game, and it leaves the door open for players and coaches to potentially be dishonest in order to try to help the team. So I spoke to the coach about that, the gamesmanship part of that, and I think we both agree that there's a lot riding on the honesty here. A story about a team being dishonest could be enough to cause an early end to the football season, and nobody wants to see that, and I think everyone understands the gravity of the situation. So we hope that the gamemanship is pure, and we hope that everyone is honest about what's going on here, because we want everybody to be safe, and we want to see a full football season. So let's say that everyone is honest about it, and you see a bunch of variables this season. For instance, you could have a potential impact. You could see players randomly miss games throughout the year, and random players at that. A team's ability to predict and plan will be way more difficult this season than in seasons past. Therefore, teams need to ensure they have concentrated on the depth more so than ever before, and that's a hard thing in high school football when there are limited numbers. So you'll see schools like Harriman, for instance, or some of these other smaller area schools that we cover this year that may have issues if they have a couple players that have to be out because of COVID-19. We've also seen some teams cancel some games early on. We hope we get to see a full season of football, but how will players and teams handle an interruption mid-season where maybe a couple opponents have to forfeit or the TSSAA steps in and postpones the season for a couple weeks? My colleague's opinion is that it would be devastating for a program to miss several games mid-season in normal years, but hey, this is 2020. Did you see the movie about the world ending? It was called 2012. They were off by about 8 years, okay? Everybody has been in this craziness together, so these teams have to make the adjustments as needed, and I believe they will. So we've got rain in the area here at Harriman. Kingston is in town. We've got a Roane County rivalry that has been here for 75 years. We're going to kick this thing off. Hopefully we have some inclement weather that stays out of the area and goes right by us, and we just have to deal with some of this rain. So we're going to break down this matchup when we get back. You are tuned in to the OEB Law Game of the Week right here on Channel 12.